Hurricane Idalia made landfall along the coast of Florida's Big Bend near Keaton Beach as a strong Category 3 storm around 7:45 this morning.
NBC2 anchor Alan Campbell is in Perry, Florida, just about 20 miles away from where the storm made landfall. Alan.
Well, Kelly and Peter, you know, the people here in Perry are really starting to come together. They're not wasting any time as a community coming together to clear up the debris and any of the damage that was left behind. In fact, just about 10 minutes or so ago, this road that's right beside me here, it was covered with trees. But there was a gentleman who brought his tractor down and actually cleared out all the trees and all the debris so that cars can go through here. The lady that is going into this home over here, look at her front yard. Look at all the debris that is on top of her roof. It's a common sight here in this small American town where we're seeing a lot of debris, branches, trees scattered all over people's houses. And unfortunately, take a look at this. This is another thing we're seeing a lot here in the town of Perry. These trees that are uprooted and blown over, laying literally all over people's yards and on the roadways. But I really want to bring your eyes and your attention to this over here. Those winds were so strong from Hurricane Idalia when it came here on shore, probably about 110, 120 miles per hour, ripped this tin roof right off of this business here, and then toss that tin roof across over here, maybe about 75 yards in front of the Postal Service here in Perry, in front of a major thoroughfare, US 221. But you know what? As I mentioned earlier, the people here in Perry, they are coming together. They know the importance of being together as a community and helping each other out, similar to what we are doing in Southwest Florida nearly a year after Hurricane Ian, as we also continue to rebuild. But I want to show you something here that stood up to Hurricane Idalia. Mitch, can you zoom in on that? That is a sign of hope here for the people in Perry. That is Old Glory, high above on that pole, stood there the entire time and is flying right now in the wind. If there's anything that says that this city, the people here in Perry will rebuild, it's that sign of the American flag right there. But again, you know, really there is a lot of damage out here in Perry. Some of the folks we spoke to, they say they've never really seen a storm this intense, this powerful. They've had storms before. They didn't expect it to cause this much damage. But again, it's great to see really a lot of these people coming together, helping clean out and repair some of the damages, cut down trees, making sure that they can get to their destinations. Unfortunately, power hasn't been restored. Just a few moments ago as well, we saw major power companies from all over, not just here in Florida, but from Georgia, from North Carolina. They were all rolling down the street here. Again, that major thoroughfare setting up. They're going to try and get that power back up as quickly as possible to the folks here in Perry. We'll continue to monitor the situation here and bring you any new updates. For now, reporting live in Perry, I'm Alan Campbell. We'll send it back to you guys.
Ellen, thank you.
It's devastating, you know. We grew up in this town, so we would sometimes even drive by a lot of like friends, family members.
The road to Minnesota Key is cracked into hundreds of pieces. The storm surge just ripped it apart. This is just north of Blind Pass Beach.
The road connects to northern Minnesota Key. NBC2 Sarah Metz is there live showing you the damage. It's incredible, Sarah.
It really is, Kelly and Peter. And, you know, we've been reporting on this all day, and I'm pretty sure we've been the only crew covering this part of Minnesota Key Road. But this time around, I want to give you a different perspective. Right now, you can see your eye level with me, and I am standing on the surface level. This is exactly where the road once was. Now what I want to show you is I'm going to safely move down here and slowly, because you know, it is a little bumpy out here, but right now, this is about 2 feet below surface level. But the closer and closer we get to the Gulf, I just dropped another foot, that's about 3 feet below surface level. The closer and closer we get to the Gulf, you can just see that these massive pieces of concrete slabs are sitting at below 5 feet below surface level. And it just shows you a little bit of the damage, especially because this side of the road is closest to the Gulf, which means it was getting hit the hardest by the Gulf waves. You could just see that there are some people who are still walking across this road here. And again, just like Kelly and Peter said, this is just a little north of Blind Pass Beach Park. That is the furthest that you can get by car to get out here. And, you know, I do want to point out to you that the beach, this is the first time that we're actually able to see a little bit of the sand, and that's because the tide tide is receding. The water is moving out, the tide is going out, which is good. And I know that Rob was saying that our next high tide, or excuse me, low tide is coming at around 8. But I was talking to a few people, just like these people out here, who just wanted to see this for themselves. And you know, what they had to say was pretty heartbreaking.
And it's devastating because even people that live down here, you know, how are they going to get to their homes, or how would they repair this? And it's just crazy how it washed up all this road.
It's a lot, definitely, but yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to see. Definitely wasn't expecting it.
Definitely not expecting it, and that's also because he was explaining to me that they are still recovering from Hurricane Ian, and you know, this is only going to set us back a little bit further. I do want to take a second though and let you know that this stretch of Manasota Key Road is, again, just a little north of Blind Pass Beach, and this is where it is completely blocked off. That is the furthest point that you can go. And make sure if you are coming out this way that you are staying safe and you are staying out of the water as officials are suggesting. We're local today from Manasota Key. Sarah Metz, NBC2.
NBC2's Hope Salmon is a little farther south off McGregor Boulevard on Donna Street, continuing our team coverage.
And if you're anything like me, you like to come out to McGregor to watch the beautiful sunset that you usually get near the Caloosahatchee, but that's going to be a little difficult tonight as you see all of this flooding that I'm in. It gets all the way up to my ankles and knees the more that I go down before you get to the wall over there. And as you look over, you can see that there is still water crashing over. The white caps have slowed down just a bit, but ever since I've been here, since about 12 today, that water has continually been flowing in, and it stayed about this high all day, high enough for people even to be kayaking. And I spoke to community members who are talking about how they're dealing with all of this flooding.
Last night was peaceful. I didn't even realize it had stormed.
People living off of Rio Vista Avenue weren't shaken up by Idalia until they woke up to all of this flooding.
It drained earlier and then filled back up. It's high tide, so.
Brett Newman's family has been living right off of the Caloosahatchee for decades. They say heavy flooding here showed itself the first time with Ian, and it's not as bad now, but it's back.
With Ian, it was much deeper. It was chest deep in the middle of the river.
His dad, who owns the home, isn't too concerned about it.
I was just telling my son here, it's been quite a few years since I've skimboarded.
A few streets away on Donna Drive, Debbie Fortin isn't feeling as relaxed about the high water in front of her home.
There's no chance to recover.
She moved to the area a couple months before Ian hit. Her roof is still damaged, and she's been living in a trailer for months.
Came back to everything gone inside.
She and her husband don't know if they can wait out another storm. And you can see behind me that the community members are just trying to make the most of the situation right now as they hope that the water recedes quickly. I'm reporting live in Fort Myers. Hope Salmon, NBC2.
It was a strong Category 3 storm early this morning. It became the first major hurricane to hit that area since modern record keeping started in 1851. NBC2 First Alert meteorologist Justin Hobbs is in Perry tonight, where they have a long rebuilding process ahead.
Yeah, Kelly, Peter, they most certainly do. Talking about how powerful Hurricane Idalia was. Take a look behind me, the roots from this tree. I'm 5'8". This is at least over double my height. This is a tropical almond. They grow up to anywhere from 75 to 90 feet, and it's completely knocked over. And if my photographer could come over here real quick to show you, the sod was actually ripped out from underneath this concrete sidewalk. Look at how far my foot goes up underneath there. That shows just how powerful those winds were to pull not only the tree over that is, I mean, this tree's anywhere, again, 75 to 90 feet. That's how large these things grow, but also completely rip the sod out and over these poles. So this community was most certainly hit hard. They were right on that northeastern edge of the eye wall. But as we've been talking to those members of this community, they are a strong community and they're resilient and they are going to be building back. And the good news is the sun is out. We've got clear blue skies and hopefully a clear blue future for these guys as they do build back. We're live this evening in Perry. Meteorologist Justin Hobbs, NBC2.